Hey, my fellow Anita Sarkeesian fans. Welcome back to episode 10 of the Coinflip podcast. I'm your host, Zachary Mayers. Once again, joining us, we have the infamous Leadbrain. Leadbrain, how are you?
Pretty good, mate. I was going to say, I don't think this is... Oh, yeah, no, it is episode 10. Sorry, never mind. Disregard what I'm
10
saying.
episodes long. And also joining us, once again, we have, for some reason, Mr. W. Mr. W, how are you?
I'm alright. Not too bad.
Good to hear.
Not too bad, not too good, not too in between. Anyway, so what I wanted to get into first, real quick before we start the episode, really. Justin, I want to apologise to you. Last episode, I got a bit confused with Spectre. I still don't like Spectre, so fuck off.
I know, you can still have
Mr.
that.
Hinks isn't the main antagonist, he's the tritagonist or some shit.
Yeah, like, I always thought he was like a side villain, and he gets killed off really early.
What's the main villain's name? Because Spectre's such
Blofeld.
William Blofeld?
But one thing I didn't like,
No.
getting a bit of a sidetrack, I did not like the fact that Blofeld and Bond were related, or like half
Also, Blofeld doesn't
Yeah.
die. Usually the Bond villain should die.
Yeah, usually.
And he just fucking gets incarcerated. And it's like, oh, fuck, prison! Or some shit.
Yeah,
like,
fucking bullshit.
Spectre is such a forgettable film, in my opinion. I don't like it really at all.
Yeah.
It's not as bad as I said, I rewatched it. It wasn't as bad as I thought, but I still don't like it. Such a forgettable film that the villain is just so forgettable. That's why I couldn't remember Blofeld, really. Mr. Hinks, honestly, I don't like the fact that a Bond villain is being played by Dave Bautista, because, you know, Drax from the Guardians of the Galaxy, a fucking former wrestler, isn't exactly what I call great acting skills.
Great acting.
But despite
Great
this,
acting.
it's kind of like it's kind of like Hayden Christensen in the Star Wars prequels. You want to see more of him, at the same time, you know how shit he is.
Oh my.
You know?
God, please stop.
Yeah, please stop.
So,
stop.
the main topic of this episode is PC, not computers, political correctness.
Political.
Why?
Any takers?
Why are we talking about
So,
it?
think about
I think we're all in pretty much unanimous agreement about this.
Alright, fine, not the main topic. A topic of the episode is political correctness. We probably went over this on the first episode, actually.
Yeah, we probably did too. But I mean...
Libertarian.
Yep.
Pescatarian. I'm joking.
What is the
So I'm going to say libertarian, liberal. Probably.
You know liberal means liberal in the sense of the spectrum means you're progressive.
Yeah, well, I mean, I'm fine with doing that. I'm just like, I'm not fine like the other side of liberal where it's like extremely progressive and everything's fucking racist and
everything is racist.
they're triggered by everything that doesn't have a leg. I don't know.
But everyone gets triggered over everything.
Yeah, but like, that's true. Like, because the whole thing with PC is it's like fucking. The society's become so soft, they get offended by everything. In their eyes, everyone's a victim, so nobody can do anything wrong. Yet at the same time, everybody's being fucking offended. And there's hypersensitive pussies that basically run the world at this point. Thank God we have President Trump involved. Good old...
President Saris.
Yeah.
Come on, Saris.
God
Come on, we gotta use his correct name from now on.
So, it's kind of like fucking...
Yeah.
You gotta think about it, right?
Yeah.
You know, political correct people are just massive pussies. Obviously, as I said, they get offended by everything. But you know what the massive problem is? It's setting a dangerous precedent for freedom of speech. I don't want to go over the fucking Count Dunkula thing for the 90th time.
Do you want to guess the juice?
Yeah, do you want to guess the juice? I just
you know what's funny? The dog never actually salutes. When he says the line, "Do you want to guess the juice?" The dog doesn't salute.
I know.
Shouldn't the dog go to prison then? Why is Count Dunkula supposedly going to prison?
Yeah, I know.
No one knows because it's so dumb.
Yeah.
It was a fucking joke.
And that makes not freedom of speech, political correctness a joke in itself because of how triggered the stupid people are. Or their retarded government. What country was he in?
UK.
Fucking you gay. Yeah.
UK.
Stop laughing at our own jokes.
It's still pretty fucking funny.
Yeah, but it's just kind of sad that like political correctness has gone. Yeah. Let's say what was somewhat, I'm saying used to be a respectable movement and had a good premise, but now it's been overshadowed and everything's a problem in their eyes. And people like, I guess, as I said before, people like, I don't know, Amy Schumer, a terrible comedian. The most pathetic thing a comedian can do is blame the audience or a portion of the audience for not getting their jokes. I find that quite weird.
Yeah.
Well, how like I mean, with Amy Schumer, it's more of she's a bit more of a talentless
fucking whale.
Okay, that's a bit harsh.
A
but
talentless whale.
I'd say a bit more of a talentless hack. She just like a lot of her jokes are repetitive. A lot of her jokes are repetitive. Have you heard some of her jokes?
Yes, I watched a whole stand-up special. I'm sad to say.
It's like it's all repetitive shit, isn't it?
It's all just
it's funny for about 2 minutes, and then after that,
really. I wouldn't even. She does these really stupid skits and stuff, and it's all just like, I don't know how to describe it, pussy humor? In a way that it's like, hey! She makes a joke about a vagina, her titties, and then after you've ran that into the ground for, I don't know, the ninth
Yeah.
time,
Yeah.
what is the
See,
appeal?
That's why I said it's funny for about 2 minutes,
Yeah.
and then it's after that.
It's not
got
timeless.
nothing.
I'd rather be watching something like,
yeah.
I guess...
It's funny to 12-year-olds who are like,
Yeah, but these are the stupid kids who haven't developed a good sense of humour, and like,
Yeah.
I don't know, Marvel humour probably. Ugh. But then that's not timeless. Like Dave Chappelle comedy, which used to be quite good, or I guess Key and Peele.
yeah,
Something
Key
like
and
that.
Peele's great.
Yeah,
oh
they're
no,
quite-
Key and Peele are
he got
good,
bit
yeah.
by a raccoon.
Yeah.
Ah, shit, you killed him.
You killed him.
Ah, shit, you killed
Yeah,
him.
they got some good stuff. That's an example of not only a budget actually going into something, but sort of a budget like showing quality in the actual comedy, because it's good comedy. They actually put effort into it. It's not like Amy Schumer where she can just walk on stage and say titties and every fucking I don't know, retarded 30-year-old hipster mum in the audience loses their shit.
Yeah, I was gonna say, going back on Key
true.
and Peele, I remember that one of their famous skits where it's like set in World War II and it's two Negroes.
Two Negroes, yeah.
Yeah, and one of them was basically playing as an American soldier. He didn't get shot. He just fakes being dead. He did like two soldiers come in, and they start talking shit. And then he's like just sitting there listening, and he like partly eats a chocolate bar.
Yeah.
While he's in the conversation. It's like, I'm pretty sure that body's alive.
That's
like,
good
no, he's
humour.
No, he's
And
not.
it's just like,
Yeah,
like so obviously not
yeah.
dead.
So that Key and Peele stuff, that is good humour. That is worthwhile humour. That's stuff that I actually want to invest my time into.
Yeah.
And the stuff that I can generally get entertained by. I'd say that it takes a lot to make me like really laugh, to be honest. Like I'm a very sort of unimpressed person with a lot of shit that we get nowadays, because it's just tasteless sort of, I guess, Schumer or Sandler comedy, and I really don't like Adam Sandler because he just becomes shit.
Yeah,
Not that he was ever great. No.
Sandler was pretty good, like,
Was he?
with Happy Gilmore.
Yeah.
Come on, you gotta admit his earlier works were pretty good.
Alright,
But
some
then
of these-
it's just kind of like, it's a downward
It just
slide
drops.
because it's the same shit over and over again.
It just dropped. The quality
Yeah, I
dropped
know.
so fast.
Yeah, I know,
It was
it's
weird.
ridiculous.
See, the difference is, there's no such thing, in my opinion, as a politically correct comedian. Everybody has to
No,
get
you
shit.
can't be politically
you can't.
Yeah,
You
I
can't
know.
be.
So
can't
why are
be.
people saying that it is good? Like, I don't know, a Key and Peele sketch where, like, you know the Nazi one where it's like, oh, here's the cat toy, jiggledy jiggledy.
Oh, yeah.
The Nazi
Cat
one.
toy, jiggledy-diggledy.
Sadly, you'd get controversy
Cat
for
toy.
just doing something as simple and inoffensive, in my opinion, as that nowadays. That's how soft people have gotten. It's sad, and let me tell you this, okay? Fucking, it's just the death of comedy, fucking PC, because it's like, you know, enjoy telling knock-knock jokes, or that might offend a chicken, I don't know, it's just bullshit.
yeah.
Like, where does it
Yeah,
end? Where does, like,
fuck.
the censorship of comedy end, thanks to political
And
correctness?
that's the big problem with political correctness.
Yeah, true.
It's because it's sort of it's the snake eating itself.
Yeah.
Eventually, it's going to be used as a weapon against all kinds of speech. The
Yeah,
moment,
true.
like the thing is, like especially with Google's James Damore case, the big concern with that is because Google is the big controller here. Everyone is kind of concerned, like, whoa, if Google disagrees with something, it can just snap it out of
that's
existence.
the whole, like,
Yeah,
monopoly
true.
argument, I
Yeah.
guess, that Disney's in right
Yeah,
now.
because like what? Think of it. How many search engines are out there? There's heaps of them, but everyone just uses Google.
Yeah, everyone uses Google.
And so the thing is, Google has effectively a monopoly on there. Not an actual monopoly, but like an effective monopoly.
And if you get, let me tell you
And
this.
Google could just suppress knowledge.
As fucking hard, because it really pisses me off that these people sort of always get that way. It's always, everything's always left-leaning, everything always has to be politically correct. And as harsh as this may seem, honestly, if you are offended by any type of, I don't know, Key and Peele humour, by any type of, like, edgy humour on the internet, like Filthy Frank, or like somebody saying
Oh,
nigger,
filthy
Wait,
Frank.
somebody saying a
Wait,
fucking...
no, how is Filthy Frank offensive?
I know!
Filthy Frank is fine.
No, it's not. People are just massive pussies. Everybody's a soft cock now. So, let me tell you.
Yeah.
All you Antifas, all you fucking feminist frequency fans out there, jokes aside,
they're coming
you
for
what
us.
you should do, go on your pathetic
no.
search
coming
engine,
for us.
Onion or whatever, search up Spine and learn
Just
to grow
search
one,
Onion.
because no one cares. If you're offended, your feelings don't matter, especially on the internet. You can't expect everybody to sort of come together and be helpful and respectful and politically correct all the time. It's not going to happen, and that shouldn't happen, because that's the death of comedy argument. The segregation of humour in general. You can't force everything to be sort of on the same boat. It's going to get boring. Not only is it going to be stale instantly, it's not going to have any appeal because it's unfunny. Universally unfunny. This is true, and evident through a lot of sort of cases with humour in the 90s for being racial towards black people, humour in the early 2000s for being too goofy and kid-like, or humour now, everything's apparently racist when this is the same as we had before. Literally, it may have, something that was okay is now not okay, and that's just fucked.
Yeah. I mean, that's kind of the downwards path comedy's gonna take. Like, I mean, because over time, comedy changes.
Yeah.
And it's just
true.
the path of our society, just the way life goes.
Yeah.
Oh, I fucking love Slurpees.
Enjoying your nice 7-Eleven Slurpee there, boy.
Docs. I don't know which 7-Eleven we're at. Don't dox me.
Dox him. Spam him.
You didn't dare. What? Anyway.
The Dara.
Yeah. It's kind of like this. Do you feel like it is going to continue to get more PC? People are going to continue to get more spineless and annoying and pandering, and it's just going to become a shit show.
I hope not.
Well, I will say this.
Hope not.
I do say people are very tired of like, oh, you know what? I don't care if you're offended. People are getting tired of everybody being offended by fucking, I don't know, anything of a dick or 2 legs. It's just annoying.
Like, the thing is, the real world is, like, not kind. Yeah, I know. Don't worry about it.
The audio is retarded. Why is it so silent?
I don't bloody know.
Who knows?
Any prostitute. Yeah, get back to it.
I wouldn't worry about it too much. But what I was trying to say was before we were looking at levels, was that,
Yep.
Fuck, I've lost it now.
Alright, so basically, I think...
God damn it!
It doesn't matter.
God damn it.
Stupid audio. I think what you were going to say is that these levels of sort of political correctness will be sort of not just be in like comedy, it'll start pouring into other elements. Like, you can't do this anymore unless you're...
The thing is, like, political correctness is about, like, protecting people. Like,
it's an inherently flawed
it's
movement.
really prevalent in universities, schools, places that can easily be controlled. But the problem is, once you step out of that environment, and once you're at school,
it's like a church.
you guys, like, since we've all finished school now, like, how different is work to school?
Oh, it's very different.
Work is so different.
I actually enjoy
school.
work more.
Yeah, work is heaps better than school. So the thing is, like, you can just have this protected place, but trying to get it into a workplace is like,
but I really hate the whole like safe space argument. Don't be such a coward. This is the real world. You can't have a safe space. Let's say I remember a while ago I heard this quote that was like, you know, I think it was from South Park or American Dad, really. It's like, hey, the world isn't one big liberal arch college campus. Stop being massive pussies and grow a spine.
And also, the funny thing is, a lot of the lot of the actual places that support getting safe places, right? A lot of those people have useless fucking degrees or are studying
or
useless
just
fucking
talentless
degrees.
fucking retards.
Yeah, that's true.
Who get passed just because they're ethnic or some bullshit like that.
It's
let me tell you,
funny.
Especially for the world we have now. Like,
everything's all PC.
Like,
everything's stupid.
And let me tell you, American college students are the biggest pussies on the planet. I remember there's been several cases of, hey, fire this professor because he said white people aren't bad, or hey, fire this professor because he's not doing this one thing that we don't like, or hey, we should get what we fucking demand, even though our demands are completely flawed, stupid, sort of just misleading in the first place, and we don't know what even is going on. We're not smart enough. We just say, hey, we want equality, we want this sort of racial commentary that all colleges sort of lack, but at the same time they're contradicting themselves by fighting, I guess, fire with fire. That's the whole racism argument in the first place. So inherently, not only is political correctness sort of a flawed and, in my opinion, very outdated sort of thing, the original moral behind it has kind of been warped, so it's lost sort of any sincerity that it may have had. Everything about equality or racial commentary or anything like that has sort of been undermined by the retards who run the movement nowadays and are just offended by everything, so it's kind of boiled down to just pulp. Pulp is in nothing.
Yeah, like nothing.
Yeah, it's just like, it's harmless, inoffensive garbage, and people treat it like it's fucking end of time.
I was going to say, like, there's a lot of vilification of, like, white people or Caucasians.
And when they use
the problem is, look through history. Every culture, every race has a black mark or something horrible they've done. Yeah. Just look at history.
You can't
just look. In fact, look at the world now. Every culture is guilty of something.
I
don't know why white people get specifically all the blame, but everyone is guilty of something. What I would say is wear your sins on your sleeve and just accept it. Like, yes, my ancestors did this, but guess what? This is the modern times. I've learned from my ancestors' mistakes, and my duty is to ensure these will not happen again.
Well, I kind of disagree with that because we are not responsible for like stuff that our ancestors done. We're not responsible. Therefore, I don't give a fuck about these people's feelings. I don't give a fuck. Oh, you know, I could still feel the anger of my ancestors inside me. No, you can't. You fucking liar. Shut up. No one cares about your pathetic feelings.
What I was trying to say was not that we're responsible for our ancestors' actions, more that we should learn from our ancestors' actions. And
we have learned.
Yeah, we have learned, and we're not doing them still. That's what I mean.
That's
we're not
the problem.
Like nailing. We're not like lynching gays. We're not nailing people to crosses. We're not doing any of that. So what is the problem? People just love something to hate. Fact, and even if everything is good and all that one day, they're just going to start to hate something else, and that's going to become a problem.
In fact, if you look at this, like, how and what, like, say, look at this, right? Let's say, slavery, right?
Gone?
Yeah, it's gone. It was long gone before any of us were born, and none of us have an experience with it, right? How and what way have we benefited from slavery?
I don't know.
How?
They built something? I don't fucking know.
Yeah, but it was like it's such a distant thing. It's the same with
I don't know.
I suppose the same argument could be applied to the history of the world wars. Like again, distant. Like we know nothing of it. We have no reference to it. We've got no connection to it. So thus we cannot appreciate it or have. Yeah, like even though they.
Are you telling me that the Battle of Mount Olympus was fake?
What? 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 Wait, what?
Where'd that come from?
Where'd that come from? What wars do you think I'm talking about?
World War One.
There was no Battle of Olympus in World War One.
No, I don't mean that. I mean the other World War One. Next topic. Anyway, it's kind of
What?
like...
No. What
Shut
do
up.
you mean by Battle of Olympus? What did you mean?
I got confused.
How so? Explain.
I just did. Shut up.
Not that battle.
You haven't talked in a while. Say something.
I would like to know.
No, shut up. I was fucking... I'm done. This podcast is over. Off.
Wait, are you serious?
No. Turn it off.
Wait. Yeah, okay. Yeah.
No, I'm just... Forget it, okay? Just... I didn't say anything. Anyway.
Okay.
Back to the topic. Shut up. Honestly. Back to the topic at hand. It's kind of like... What were we saying? Oh yeah, political correctness is garbage.
And that it's like pushing a cult, pushing
it's
something.
pushing something. We're not responsible for sins that, I don't know, our forefathers made.
Yeah.
Because if we
Are
were, everybody would be dead.
Are we saying our ancestors aren't guilty? No, we're not.
But we're not them and we're not responsible for them, so get over it. I don't care how you feel.
I'm more to blame.
I think, whenever somebody brings up an argument like, oh, you're right, you shouldn't have to say, I just give up. I don't give up. I just sort of don't take them seriously because it's obviously that they're just playing that card without proof any of this bullshit accusations they're throwing at you, and it's like, wow, so they're one of these uncreative fuckers who can't bring up an actually valid point. Or if they do bring a slightly valid point, it's muddled by sort of the broken and biased logic that they have.
Okay, fair enough. Mr. W, do you have anything you'd like to add to that topic in particular?
Well, I mean, I feel like with political correctness, it actually turns out to be as the world goes on, it just gets worse.
Yeah, fair enough.
Is it?
And the thing is, I don't think it's gonna get any better, even though I want it to. But because all people want is they want everything that they can get for themselves.
Because you've been a victim of some degree of political correctness bashing, haven't you?
Political beliefs, yeah.
Yeah. Would you say you've been assaulted?
That's what I really hate when people.
Would you say people have verbally assaulted you for your beliefs?
Oh yeah, multiple times.
That's why I hate when people can't handle other beliefs. Get over it. No one cares.
I have my beliefs, and I don't push my beliefs on other people. But when it comes to those retarded guys and out there, they're just like, oh, why do you believe that? That's so dumb. I'm it's my choice to believe that. If you don't like what I believe, then you could just get the hell out of my face.
Yeah.
Or I'm going to hit you.
So
that's the thing.
Oh damn, throw down.
No, I would, man.
You sooner headbutt their nuts, honestly.
Hey, just because I'm Bilbo.
Technically, you're pretty short. For those of you who don't know, Mr. W is actually quite tall in real life. That's a complete lie. That's a complete lie. But, I understand what you mean. The whole, I hate it when people, can't handle other opinions. If you're not, this left-leaning bitch that the world wants you to be, you're immediately slandered as a bunch of meaningless buzzwords like fascist or whatever. Or as you said, Justin, as you said a few episodes ago, some Antifa will just scream some bullshit at you without any proof, without any context, really, just being a cunt.
Fascist.
Yeah, where's that coming from? What does that even mean anymore?
Yeah, again, fascism is it's the true horrors of fascism. Let us pray to God that they will never ever be repeated.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because the crimes of fascism were awful. It's just like communism. They're just as bad as each other. You could argue one's worse than the other. Yeah. I don't know how you would. They're both pretty fucking shit. I
was at KFC last Friday. I was getting some dinner or whatever because my mum's like, I'm fucking get your own dinner. I'm like, whatever. Anyway, I order a fucking Zinger box. This bitch comes in and orders a fucking ultimate box or some shit. Anyway, so we're getting our order, and then I get mine first, even though she ordered first, and then she goes, oh, white privilege. I'm not joking, this actually happened. And then so I turned to her with and my face actually goes red. This is a true story, I'm not lying.
What the hell?
Are you okay?
I wanted to punch that bitch in the face.
Slightly red or red like a tomato?
Red, I was frustrated. Frustration red, not very. And And then I could have said something to her, but I just said, you know what, I'm going to be the biggest person, so I just called her a cunt and walked off.
Ooh.
I don't think I'm going back there anytime soon. Like, how stupid are you that you have to just use some bullshit like excuse that's not even valid like that?
It's like KFC.
What does it even mean?
What are you expecting?
You'd sooner label Colonel Sanders as being racist. What does it mean?
He kind of looks like a bit like a southern slave driver though.
Well, I think he wasn't he?
I don't know.
Well, he has that typical look, but...
Like, he looks like a southern... Oh, well, I say, Mr. Beauregard, with them...
I say so. What we got a roll in here? I'm going to buy myself a pack of chicken biscuits, and I'm going to take it home to my lovely wife, fuck her in the hair, and my son goes back to the pan, and we do some double chicken and get some herbs and spices, man. You know, that's kind of bullshit.
Yeah.
But, like...
But yeah,
have you ever experienced
that's
something
the most
really...
stupid thing I've heard.
Yeah, I know.
Ever.
Have you ever experienced something stupid like that before?
I mean, aside in customer service, but that's like, that happens.
Yeah, have they ever used some gay white privilege excuse?
Most of the time it's like kind of targeted at the business. So
if you look up the
that's a little bit different. That's all like, I feel ripped
so
off.
if you look up the definition of race card, I'm not joking. The actual thing is like, it says something like something you use when you are uncreative, have no actual valid opinion or excuse, so you just resort to petty name calling and labeling. I guess it's the meaningless sort of overused buzzword argument. And I've said buzzword at least a billion times. You could probably do a shot game, you'd be dead. About the amount of times I've said buzzword, meaningless buzzword, or ridiculous buzzword.
Take a shot every time someone says a buzzword in some.
We'll call it Liam's buzzword counter. It's at least at 13 now. I'm gonna say.
Take a shot.
I know I've said it a lot.
Probably a lot more than
you gotta take no. Let's make
13 an episode.
Well, if you count all of us, I guess.
Let's crank the game up a notch. You gotta take a shot of Captain Morgan's spiced rum. You gotta take a shot. You gotta do it.
Well, Walshy can't have a zinger burger if we play it, because we know what happens. Actually, we know what happens when we all have a zinger burger when we play it. Yeah, but the point is, the point is, the reason I use buzzwords so much is because I can't think of a better sort of thing to label these stupid excuses as. Like, let's say you say something like fascist without any proof, without any context. That's a buzzword. You say something like racist, misogynist, or any number of meaningless things that have kind of lost their sort of oomph. You know what I mean? Yeah. The reason that is because it's so misused and it's so sort of frequently mistreated in a way that it actually sort of negates any sincerity that it may have had. The originally these words like I guess racist and all that, they were used as sort of an actual reason. Like, you're calling someone racist. This guy dislikes black people. This guy actually hates Asians. This guy is he really dislikes white people. That is racism. But racism is not. I mean, not disliking a movie because it has black people in it. Racism is not going off an Asian train restaurant just because it's got Asians in it.
There's a difference between legitimate racism, which is a thing that, like, none of us have seen
and then there's meaning and all these words like and we don't have to. I don't have to feel guilty for not. And I don't do it myself. I joke because I have a dark sense of humor, and I don't care about your feelings. Any person, really.
Dark sense of humor is great. Going on dark humor. Have you guys seen Rick and Morty's Bushland Adventure?
Oh, is that the Australian one?
Yeah. So fucking good.
I saw that. It was pretty alright.
We're going on a drive.
It reminds me a lot of like
8-hour drive.
It reminds me a lot of fucking
drive. I did some science to my portal gun, and now it's a real guy. I'm gonna kill you.
It reminds me a lot of like the Big Les show, like that Australian humor, sort of house. I like it. Man. Very nice. But anyway, getting back to it, these words like racism, like fascism and all that, they've just lost their meaning, so they've become just words to shove into titles and headlines to make it click. Anything that's slightly controversial obviously is going to get a few more clicks, and I guess it's not really good that it should, really, because not only is it sort of undermining what it stood for originally, but you're also pushing an agenda, vilifying a certain group of people just because they don't fall in line and be like a left-leaning sort of opinionated little bitch.
And the other thing I was going to say is, like, look, there are not, like, in today's society, there's so much support out there and help things people can get. At what point do you go, okay, maybe it's not racism, maybe I just need to get up and do something for myself?
Yeah.
Like, that's the whole thing. People, like, idiots out there who don't have a spine, some of them are convinced that they're the victim and that everybody else is in the wrong. No. A victim implies something tragic or traumatic has happened to you. Someone calling you, I don't know, a rice pecker is not traumatic.
The fuck's a rice pecker?
I don't know what that is.
What the hell does that even mean?
I don't know, I heard it in Fat Pizza 7 years ago. Anyway, it doesn't matter. Point is,
what does it even mean?
Why do you have to say all these topics? We're trying to... Whatever. Point is, political correctness, in my opinion, The movement is flawed. The movement is outdated. The movement is incoherent. The movement has lost all sincerity and has been watered down to the point where I don't take it seriously anymore, even if I do stand for sort of the basic values of it. I'm not standing for the death of comedy argument or anything like that, because it just becomes so sort of annoying after a while. It's grating. It takes a toll on you. It's pandering. It's bullshit. It's annoying.
Yeah. I mean, when it comes, when you support political correctness, the version you support. The basics. What do you mean
don't
basics?
support... basics as in, I don't know...
Do you mean, just treating a person with decency?
Decency, yeah.
Is that what sort of what you
being
mean?
a decent person...
Well,
not hating... Yeah, but also basics are like being a decent person, not being a cunt all the time. Supporting, I guess, you're not marching any praise or anything. I don't want to do that. It's not my thing. It sounds gay, to be honest.
I could,
but not hating.
Where do you get that energy from?
Not hating black people, not hating white people, not hating women or whatever,
just being a decent
or anything
human.
like that. And
So just being a decent human being.
Tolerating beliefs. You don't have to respect other people. You don't have to respect a race. You don't have to respect beliefs or anything. You just have to tolerate them.
Okay. Fair enough.
Yeah.
So just being a decent human being, basically.
Yeah, the basics. I don't support the sort of
speech
more
oppression.
upper stuff like the oppression of freedom of speech, people being jailed for a joke, stuff like, hey, the death of comedy, where it's like, hey, that's racist, everything's fucking racist. This music objectifies women, or some bullshit overused excuse like that. I don't support those advanced stuff because it pisses me off, because I feel that their arguments are flawed. Their arguments do not make sense. Their arguments are very basic, sort of minor arguments that just come across as more pandering, annoying, circle-jerking garbage to me. That's why I don't support sort of all this higher levels of, I guess, social justice and all that, because I don't like sort of them a lot. I'd say as much as this might sound, I don't support 70% of political correctness because of what it's become, because of what that whole thing represents. I'll stick with the basics. I'm going to be a decent person. I'm not going to pander to these people. I'm not going to sort of vilify anyone, especially like white people or black people or anyone, just because of their beliefs or my beliefs or whatever. I'm not going out of my way to be a douche. I'm not going out of my way to, as I said, vilify people. I'm repeating myself at this point, but you get what I mean, okay?
Yeah, I get what you mean. Yeah, we get what you mean.
And I think you probably feel very similar.
Yeah.
For me personally, I feel like what you're saying is correct, but the thing is, it's like the amount of people that are actually forcing it is actually so small, but for some reason, majority of the people are listening to them. And I'm like, that's just the dumbest thing.
It's the whole thing of, if you're just this, soulless, mute, left-leaning little bitch, you're always going to get people on your side, and as long as you scream these sort of meaningless statements like racism every 10 seconds and shove these stupid words like fascism in headlines, you're going to get clicks people are going to support, because people don't want to look like, I guess, racist, even though there's nothing wrong with doing that. Not with racism, sorry, with with pandering and
it's
shit.
kind of in this modern era, none of us have, a point of reference for, some of the worst parts of humanity. We haven't seen what fascism is like, really. We've seen in textbooks and documentaries what the consequences of it were, but at the same time, we've never seen it. We haven't lived in the actual society.
We've heard about it, we've researched it, we know what it's like, but we haven't actually experienced it firsthand, so we can't know for sure.
It's the whole culture argument, oh, I still feel the pain of my ancestors inside me because of what you did. No, you don't. No, Shut up.
You're not. There's not.
Yeah.
I don't know that, but
no, there definitely
there's
isn't.
no way
there's
you
definitely
can experience the pain of your ancestors.
Yeah, there's no way. I guess sort of any newer black or white person, I'm going to sound like a douche for saying this, but they don't know what it's like to be truly oppressed. Oppression back... I saw this meme, it was oppression then, and it's got a Nazi pointing a gun to a woman's head, and she's crying. And then it says oppression now, and it just has a white guy and some fat Antifa, red-headed, disgusting piece of scum, just going fascist, screaming all these stupid words.
I was going to say, if, fascism was legit in society, you would not be able to do half that shit.
Oh, yeah. See, if people are saying, if the world was as bad as how all these politically correct little bitches were, then let me tell you, the world will be a shit place. But it's not like that. The problem is left-leaning little cunts, and I guess right-leaning little cunts too, exaggerate it to the point where not only has it lost all its warp, all its sort of pull in the first place, but it's not taken seriously anymore. And it's right that it's not taken seriously, because the movement is just made up of these hypocritical little bitches.
Yeah.
I mean, look at that. Look at that.
Yeah.
Do you get it?
Yeah. See, that is genuine. That one there, that one with, she's clearly Jewish woman, SS. That is oppression to one hell of a level. That is
chili chips
you're
right now.
begging, he doesn't care.
Yeah.
This is That's just because of who you are.
Yeah, that's sort of like
being oppressed. How?
This third wave feminist bullshit that's going on, I guess, but luckily is sort of dying down. People are getting sick of all these little bitches getting offended by everything, and that's that whole argument. But I think we've exhausted it. I'm sick of talking about political correctness. So I've come to the conclusion that it's shit, and I don't respect it.
Yeah. Yeah. Okay. Fair enough. We droned on for that way too long. But I get it. We all hate it.
It needed to be said because...
Yeah.
Fair enough.
Yeah.
Yeah. Look, because it's one of those things there are enough people talking about, but at the same time...
It's a hot topic, I guess.
It's one of those things where it's just like, you need more people talking about the pros and cons of each one, and then everyone picks a side.
Yeah. So,
ultimately speaking, nothing is like 100% right all the time. There's always like, well, if you do this, you lose this. Like, people don't see the world as like, oh, people want to see the world as, oh, if I do this, I can do all this. But however, you got to look at it as like pros and cons.
Yeah. Yeah, you may be able to do this if you do that, but...
You can't do that.
You can't do that, but if you do this, then it might lead to that, and...
Yeah. It's all about it's all about choices having consequences.
Yeah.
Yeah. And, honestly... it's good that we can debate like this because a lot of people on sort of the far, I'm not saying traditional, I'm saying the far left side and the far right side,
it doesn't matter.
Are so cowardly, they're not willing to debate like civilized debating like we do. Yeah. We have a lot of the same beliefs, but we also have very different beliefs at times too.
It's terrible, and it's also terrible when people can't debate because it's just like it's two sides just throwing shit on each other.
So like I'm not going to take
just a bit of banter
seriously
sometimes.
if they can't debate. If they're not willing to debate.
Debating's good. Like, it actually helps you expand your mind and expand your perception of the world.
Yeah.
But if you're not willing to have your ideas challenged, because the idea is...
And you could even... Oh, sorry.
Yep, so... Because the idea is you should have your ideas challenged, so that way you can see if your ideas really stand up and actually hold water. And whereas if they don't, it's like, okay, maybe I should rethink that.
You might even change someone's mind on something, or you could pick up a new ideology along the way. You know, something like that, really.
Yeah. Or at least be able to see where the other person is coming from, so that like you at least don't have to be like a little bitch and be like
little bitch,
and just like say, my side's obviously better than yours, and then not give a valid reason for it.
Well, I think we exhausted that.
Yeah,
that was actually quite fun, serious and a bit dull but fun.
Yeah.
So I guess did you guys ever listen to any other podcasts before we started this one?
Oh, the co-optional, man. That was my great.
Walshy, have you ever had any experience with podcasts before?
Listening to
Not really, actually.
Really?
Yeah.
Nothing's ever interested you? So the thing is, a year or two ago, probably a year or so ago, I got really into podcasts because it's fun to listen to. Like, I listened to a few of them, like I said, Baited. I briefly, while it was on, Catch 33 was enjoyable. Hot Wet Soup I was big into. Still, if they posted more, I'd still be into that. The Ricky Gervais podcast I found really good because I like hearing from him. He's a funny guy. There was not Double Toasted. The Amazing Atheist podcast, the Drunken Peasants.
Yeah, sometimes they have good
I still turn them on. Yeah,
but the thing is that they're
it's too serious and political at times.
They're too fucking
and it's so
stupid.
dry.
They're so, like none of their comment, like it's it's like a bunch of old fat men discussing shit.
I don't really like the Amazing Atheist to begin with because he's too just serious and sort of unwilling at times. But Drunken Peasants got kind of boring for me after a while.
I do remember there was one point where Colossal is Crazy took a point out of context from The Amazing Atheist.
Yeah, but he even corrected that.
Yeah, he corrected that. But the thing is, like, there are so many things, like, if you're arguing, like, with political statements, right, you can easily take something out of context and, like, just really damage them.
I know, like, I have a few examples of YouTubers doing that in the past. But I guess more sort of on that topic, what are some YouTubers that you like to listen to? Because they eventually maybe start their own podcasts or branch out.
Is it me, or is a lot of YouTubers dying now?
Yeah, that's because because YouTube is becoming like this sort of fuckboy central, where it's like, hey, Jake Paul vlogs, and everybody has to be like fit into this family-friendly sort of mold, and that's why it's dying.
I was gonna say, I just heard some recent controversy surrounding Nostalgia Critic.
What happened to him?
I don't know. I was gonna say, did you hear about it or no?
No, not really.
I just saw like the videos are half an hour. I'm just like sitting down, like, yeah, I should probably watch this, but like I never finished it.
Yeah.
They were droning on, and they were like, let's talk about the history of YouTube. Fuck off.
Oh, some some bullshit like that.
Yeah, and then they're like, look, just get to the point where what he was guilty of or what he's done.
I don't know what he's done. I don't even enjoy his content that much, to be honest.
It's okay. Like, it's okay. It's okay.
Yeah, but have you noticed how he just throws these fucking really unfunny skits? The videos have gotten really skit heavy.
Yeah.
And they're not good skits. Like that. They'll be spliced with these really sort of unfunny skits that happen constantly. And it's like, get back to the video. But the rest of the video is actually quite good. I just wish you wouldn't get so skit heavy because they're just boring.
Yeah, fair enough. Yeah. And yeah.
Yeah. That's the whole problem with Angry Joe. His skits are dumb.
Oh, did you see Angry Joe's April Fool's prank?
Yeah.
That was so funny. I'm just gonna eat these chewy crystals.
Did you see, like, I Hate Everything's one where he just did some, like, Fortnite generic story time thing?
No, I did not.
No.
April Fool's this year was very, very dull.
Yeah.
It was.
I'm glad because I don't want to get fucked over. Like, what if they
I do find it annoying. Like, it's kind of like, look, because it generates a lot of hype, and then everyone's like, oh, it's
nothing
April Fool's.
happens.
It's a fun shit.
And then what are you actually going to do on April Fool's, really?
Fuck around, I guess. Nothing. Eat chocolate.
Yeah.
It was after Easter.
Yeah. The dumbest thing was, like, it was pretty funny, though. Like, they got grapes and took the chocolates out of the wrappers and then wrapped up grapes instead and gave them to someone.
I saw some
That's
bullshit on
lit.
Facebook. Where it's
That
like,
was it was a pretty good prank.
sort of like vegan Easter or some shit where they got an avocado and put it in
The avocado one. That was the.
How dare you smash the avocado, mate? You're not Australian.
Oh, you can. And then you just do the...
I've got a gun, Morty. You're gonna die.
You're gonna die.
Well, and then I'm gonna drive off a cliff and get a paddle pop.
The thing about the YouTube sort of being in the place that it is now, as I said, like it's all just why sort of better YouTubers and more entertaining and sort of I guess more serious YouTubers used to be in charge, like PewDiePie and all that shit or whatever, and they still are to an extent, but it's become sort of a haven for like Fuckboy Central, where you have Jake Paul vlogs, Rice Gum, all this clickbait cancel like Lance Stewart, and all this crap going on YouTube to the point where that's really easy to promote. Like Logan Paul vlogs or some really gay bullshit like that, because they get millions of views a video, and children absolutely eat that shit up like it's bloody sugarcane candy or some bullshit.
Yeah. The big problem is
there's a lot of big problems with YouTube. We can definitely say that, but the bigger problem is just everything's getting demonetized because of the whole politically correct landscape.
And like I said, because YouTube is owned by Google, Google can just easily suppress stuff.
Yeah.
And they most internet traffic goes through Google.
Yeah, that's true. That is true.
If Google disagrees with something, they can just suppress it. I feel like if Google were to take an ethical standpoint with this, Google has to go, okay, we cannot suppress speech in any way possible.
Yeah.
They just have to, they can hold whatever speech they can. They're not accountable for it. They just have to hold it for the people. If someone wants to pirate something, they have to make it possible. But if someone wants to preach peace and all that, they have to make that possible. So it's kind of like they don't discriminate. They give it to everyone equally.
Yeah, that's
So it's like
true.
one of those things where it's just like Google as an entity just has to accept it and go, you know what? All right, the ethical thing here is we can't suppress
to coexist, but I don't like the whole sort of censorship of freedom of speech. Getting back to that,
but I mean, if Google wanted to do anything, it could literally just take the side of whatever they wanted.
Google is a very powerful corporation.
Yeah, and it's almost a monopoly now. Almost a monopoly.
Yeah,
almost. Almost. I say almost.
I mean,
there are other brands, but no one
Yahoo.
The thing is, they want to play it safe.
No
one uses Yahoo.
Yeah, because Yahoo's like 2004.
What's the other one? Freaking Bing or something?
Yeah, but everyone just go download. Most people.
Yeah, they're like shit posts more than a search engine.
You use Chrome.
Yeah, because Chrome's awesome.
Yeah, see, we all use Google products because Google.
Well, I don't use a Google phone because their phones are bullshit.
No, man, their phones are great.
Yeah, I don't care about it.
Great, Google phones are great.
Okay, if Apple stops fucking up the iPhone X.
Yeah. Oh god, yeah. I mean, Apple is Apple.
It's like, hey, let's get rid of this feature.
All Apple does these days.
Yeah, it's like
just
release
copy paste.
No, it's not just copy and paste. It's copy and half paste. Because at this point, it's like, hey, we're bringing out a new phone. It's bigger and it has less features and it's more expensive. Come buy it. Hey, how's it different from the last phone? Well, it costs more. That's how.
But you still bought it. You still bought it.
I bought it because my old phone was shit and died, and I thought this is the new one. My mate's like, "Oh, is that gonna buy this? Well, it can be really good. It's got new features, less features. Everything's all complicated and shit now. And it's homosexual, and I hate everything."
Alright.
And like I said, man, Google just controls everything. Like right now, they control my bedroom light.
Yeah, if Google ever wanted to, they could stop you from ever using your light. How do you feel?
Beer. What's your favourite beer?
Oh God,
Beer.
I don't like.
I've got a new favourite.
I'm more bourbon and Coke man myself.
You've had like one drink ever. Shut up.
I've had more.
I've probably fucking
had more than one
quota
drink.
for life. My favourite. I've got a new favourite beer actually. Great Northern.
Great Northern. That is actually my favourite beer
lately.
too.
The thing about Great Northern, it's so like it's dry. In a
Yeah.
sense that like it tastes dry, but it's actually really sort of filling, and you can have multiple Great Northerns and still feel pretty lucid. And then when you do sort of get a bit drunk, the Great Northern still tastes great, because usually when you have a beer and you sort of get a bit more drunk, it starts to taste odd. So you're like, hey, I better get a different kind of beer.
Yeah,
maybe I'll get some
true.
actual full alcohol, maybe some rum, good old Morgan, maybe a bit of Kraken. Kraken is fucking dreadful. I hate it now. It's fun for like the first shot of the night. Boom. After that, don't drink it again. But the Jack Daniels, that is pretty fucking fun to drink. Now, I'll tell you the funny thing about Jack Daniels, it can be mixed with so many different things. I had Jack Daniels and lemonade, and it tastes good.
Fuck. Really?
Yes,
Really?
I was surprised. I had the Jack Daniels and Fanta on the cruise, and that was crap, but it tastes so good. Jack Daniels, I fucking love
Jack Daniels and lemonade.
Yep.
Shit.
Yeah, you can mix it with Coke, as I said. You can mix it with Pepsi. You can mix it with a lot of things, but just whatever you sort of mix this certain alcohol
the standard is JD and Coke.
Oh yeah, and that's really good. I love that. But you can also have Jim Beam and all that with that, or whatever. But
Yeah.
really
like
good
a
beer.
bourbon, like any sort of bourbon mixed as well with Coke or something.
But in terms of regular beer in Australia, we've got some traditional stuff. One of my favourites being 4X Gold, which is a Queensland brewed beer.
Yeah, piss in a can.
There's a bit of a meme in our circle of mates, which is like, oh, Liam's got 4X. Liam loves 4X. Or
He drinks he has 10 cans of piss.
You know what does taste like piss? Fucking VB. Ugh. Vaginal bacteria.
Victorian bitters.
Yeah, vaginal bacteria. It's just dull, man. I'd rather be drinking a cat's semen. That's just gay, man.
What the fuck?
What is wrong with you,
Fuck
mate?
off. I'm joking. Good for comedy.
Yeah, but that's just like, there's kind of like a point where it's just like, oh, what the hell?
Yeah, but as I said, it's a joke. But then there's...
Oh man, your comedy sometimes is pretty weird.
What do you mean? Fuck. Shut up.
I mean, you said you drink cat
That
semen.
was a joke, you douche. Shut up.
Never.
You're short.
Silence, fiend.
Nevada. Anna. So do you feel like sort of
What do you...
I don't know. I lost what I was going to say. Something about beer.
It's only about beer.
I reckon...
Also, wait, what do you mean by it's dry? It's a liquid. How is a liquid dry?
It tastes dry. Like, it tastes sort of a bit more sweeter. Because if you drunk beer, which you should, you'd sort of notice the thing... I mean by dry is it tastes like... It's got like a dry taste. It clears your throat out, whatever. Then you have another one and it just gets you up there in the zone. A bit more plastered, if you will. But with something like Jack Daniels, it's really good because that's like full strength alcohol. Remember when we had that full strength one? We had like three full strength ones and we fucking died and then you vomited at the hotel and then, I mean, what happened?
Come on, man. That was 2 weeks ago.
Fucking...
Lit awesome. Meme.
It was a good meme.
Yeah. I remember drunk calling one of our mates.
Oh, yeah.
I'm not going to name her, but you know.
Oh. I was gonna say you drunk called me again, and I just ignored it.
Yeah, because every time I do it, you just cringe more and more.
I'm just like, fuck.
You like drunk calling everyone.
I do like one person. Shut up.
No, you don't. The night at the hotel, mate, you drunk called 4 people.
Didn't,
you did.
Fuckwit. Dude, I drunk called Piercy, and then I called him gay and hung up. So I was still like... Piercy, for those of you who don't know, he's a bit of a meme because it's like fucking Piercy. You might have him on another episode. That'd be really funny. We make fun of him for being a
He can
pussy.
defend
really.
himself.
He can't defend shit. He can't even defend his fucking...
Oh no, he's gonna kill you now because he watches the podcast.
No, he's probably crying right now. If he's listening, he's probably fucking crying right now. Fuck you guys are bullying me.
Mate, hear me out. You gotta go in a full-on throwdown with my boy Zacharias here. Come on, do it.
Yeah, boy. Let's go. We got KSI versus Logan Paul versus fucking Comedy Shorts Gaming or whatever. Now we got Liam. We got Zacharias versus Piercy.
Me and Mr. W.
Bash
Me
Piercy.
and Mr. W. will record it and we'll like comment over it.
Yeah.
Hell yeah.
Well, and we'll call it Fight Club. Welcome to Fight
we
Club.
should actually do that as like one of the like a big podcast. Like,
oh fuck yeah.
just Liam versus Piercy.
We'll record me just fucking bashing Piercy so hard.
He'll put up a fight.
He couldn't even break.
I reckon he'll put up a fight.
He can't even break an egg. I've knocked him to the ground multiple times.
No way. I reckon
he looks like such a little bitch.
Nah, man. Just because you working Bunnings in the timber yard.
Yeah, I'm not being
tough.
I'm not being egotistical. I could just destroy him, and we gotta stop talking about it. He's gonna be listening to this, and he's gonna be being a bitch and be like, "Oh, I could bash you." Like, fuck off! You can't even fucking open a pickle jar, you fag.
Wow.
I hope he gets AIDS.
What?
What?
God,
No, I
that's
mean,
harsh.
what? That's all right. There we go.
Whoa.
That's it, ladies and gentlemen. Thank you for joining us for episode 10 of the Coinflip podcast. I'm your host, Zach Ramirez, and I'll see you later.